Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself. Okay, this is another one of these unplanned lives. I was thinking about, what should I do for a video today and stuff like that. And I have just heard the news. I'm sure for many of you, the news is just breaking. But allegedly, I was just looking through the internet, and I saw something posted, I think it was by CNN about half an hour ago. What's the time now? My UK time. It is 1949, as in it is 7:49 p.m. in the evening. Normally when I do a live, I would post later on in the day, but I just thought I had to just discuss this remarkable turn of events. Now, it is alleged that Prigozhin, Putin's cook, as he's often referred to, has allegedly died in a plane crash just outside of Moscow. Now, the US news was just reporting on this, saying that, basically they were reporting what Russian state TV has said, who, of course, is no friend of Prigozhin, as we know, because it was 2 months ago he tried to stage a coup and then, of course, turned back. Now, as you guys will have known, we dealt with this question, I think, on Hogarth. This would have been obviously a while back now, so it would have been a couple of months back, wouldn't it? Because we were asking the question. We were like, what is going to happen to Prigozhin? And many of us were remarking, weren't we? Stay away from windows, the usual tropes, but, for good reason, don't touch door handles, check your food and stuff like that. And my instinct, or I'm sure most people's instincts would be, is that this is the highest window of all. Yeah. The plane crash. Now, obviously, look, it's too early for us to speculate too far, but we know that Putin has form on this. Not that we're saying that we're necessarily fans of Prigozhin if this is sadly true, but it's no way to go. Let's see. I thought we should pull some cards on this. Hello, guys. God, there's quite a lot of you around. I'm pretty surprised because normally I post in the evening. Let's look into this. So I just want to repeat again, for entertainment purposes only. This is a breaking story. We do not know all of the facts. All from what we understand is what has been reported by Russian state media, who, of course, have many vested interests and stuff like that. Allegedly, his name was on the list of passengers of the plane, but as the news reporters correctly identified, it doesn't necessarily mean he was on the plane. My instinct, however, given that we all know Putin's track record, there's a lot of people who've fallen from, windows and been shot and poisoned and all this stuff for a lot less. And this was effectively an armed rebellion. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Actually, quite a few of you I hear. So let's see. Let's just put this comment up. So Delilah says Putin did another one. Yeah. No second story window this time. Yeah. He thought, I'll do it from a great, great height to be sure. My goodness. Connie B saying, hi, everyone. I'm on my phone. Thank you for joining me live. And let's see here. Who else is here? So people are saying hello. And this is Dallas. Let's see. Patricia Franzino. You were the first in the room. My gosh. Super fast. And let's see here. Hello from NYC. Susan is saying that. Shocking news. More to the story than being reported seems nefarious to me. Yeah, I would think so. I mean, my goodness. I've just bought a new deck. Yeah. Just bought a new deck. It is the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot deck. It is gorgeous. You would have seen some readers use this. And I didn't think I'd be debuting this deck for this kind of story. But you know what? Let's just dive in there again for entertainment purposes only. But this is very, I'm sure you'll all agree, very significant. Very significant. The questions that are in my mind, and I'm sure you have some as well, is, did Putin do it? Yeah. How will this affect potentially the Ukraine conflict going forward? And how will this affect the Wagner Group's plans in Africa as well? Does it mean that they disband? Does it come to an end? What's going to happen here? Got the cards. And of course, you guys, let me know any questions that you have. My plan might be, to be on for maybe 45 minutes, no longer than an hour. Just let me, and if you've got any questions, I'll try and answer them as well. Many of you are piling in. Let's see here. That's a good one. Always have strength and joy. It says, wonder if he staged himself there and is now a new identity. We probably will never know. Good question. Something that is very interesting, though. Let's see. Oh gosh, I'm trying to keep up with the comments that are coming in. I think Prigozhin made this up to hide, or Putin made it happen. Yeah, could be that. Oh gosh, it's really sorry. The chat's really going. I'm trying to click on the things before they get too high. Roberta, yeah, very bizarre. Let's ask. Yeah, again, early days, folks. Breaking news, breaking story, which could be incredibly impactful. And one of the look what's at the base of the deck, an abuse of power. Look at that. Wow. One of the things that's really interesting is that today, folks, Mercury went retrograde. Mercury went retrograde today, and Mercury is the planet of travel. Yeah, he's the planet of travel, communications of all kinds. Jupiter deals with travel as well and stuff like that. But Mercury is very much, vehicles, stuff like that, travel, commutes, especially over shorter distances as well. It does deal with long distances. And allegedly, they say that he was back from Africa recently. So one would presume that he was, his base was, they said the plane was going from St. Petersburg to Moscow, if I remember correctly, and it crashed outside of northern Moscow. So it could be that he landed from Africa yesterday and then was flying maybe to see Putinshka. And then the plane has crashed. It has been reported apparently there are around about 10 people on board, and all are assumed to have perished. So this is very, very interesting. All right, let's ask the question. Was Putinshka involved? I mean, given his track record, my goodness. Let's see what this new tarot deck and what Spirit has to say. This Golden Art Nouveau tarot deck. My goodness. Yeah, Mercury retrograde today, folks, today. Review. Do you remember I was saying review, revise, reassess? Retrograde in Leo, if I remember correctly, which also deals with what? Leaders. Leaders of all kinds. Prigozhin is obviously not the nicest person in the world, but he's certainly a leader of what? The Wagner Group. Putin, of course, is a leader. Very, very interesting. And I'll double check on the charts just to make sure that. In fact, I can actually check on the back of my. I've always got my chart calculator thing. I actually put the dates here. Let's see. Yeah, August 23rd. Uttara Falguni, 27 degrees, 47, 40 minutes of Uttara Falguni. You can't see it here, but that's what it is in my notes. Uttara Falguni is in Leo. All right, let's see what these cards are saying here. High Priestess has turned up. Oh, look at this. Oh, look, the Tower. Look at this. Right, okay, I think the answer's pretty clear. Okay, the question, we asked, did Putinshka do it? Again, for entertainment purposes only. I'm sure many other readers, of course, will be reading on this as well. But I just saw the story. I just had to get straight on here. Look at this. We have the High Priestess now. We know we're in the virtuous iterations of the card. This is dealing with spirituality, higher knowledge and stuff like this. But we can also understand as well, the High Priestess can deal with secret plots, backhanded subterfuge, things that are happening below the surface, stuff that is hidden. Of course, she's deeply associated as well with the moon, and of course, things aren't clear by moonlight. So instantly, this does speak according to the cards, and again, for entertainment purposes only, this is speaking of some kind of plot, plan, or conspiracy immediately. We can see Spirit is listening, isn't it? Why? Look at the card that's come in the obstacle position. It's the Five of Wands. And we know, particularly when we're talking about politics and stuff like that, this is dealing with what? Internal conflicts, battles, debates. As we understand, you can see here, all of these guys are fighting, but they're all wearing different tunics and tops. They're all fighting in different directions. And of course, this being the obstacle position, we're asking about Putin. Prigozhin, of course, did his attempted coup. He was talked out of it. But this would speak very much like this. And this really, do you remember what I was saying? He really put the collywobbles on Putin. And Putin had to rush on state TV and say, oh, this is a blah, you know, and really was just, you could see he was quite shaken. So we can see the effect that this had on Putin. And it's very interesting because many of us, we know what Putinshka is like. One of my nicknames for him is Black Widow. Yeah, because that's it. You piss him off and, you know, you get the stinger. And many of us were like, well, how long is it going to last? And things went quiet. Maybe it was to lull him into a false sense of security. Look in the middle of the reading what it's all about. The Tower. Look at that. Describing exactly. This is literally crashing here. He's alleged. We don't know yet. Alleged to have passed in a plane crash. But the cards themselves are saying, look, this is probably true. Yeah, why else would this card be in the center of the reading? What was it about? I think it was about their relationship. Remember, Prigozhin was one of the guys that was considered, you know, one of the right-hand men, or, you know, Putin's cook. They had a very, very close relationship. And Prigozhin was one of the people that helped facilitate the rise of Putin, from what I understand as well. But either way, look, this is about close relationships, and we can see it. Look at the outcome card. Impoverishment. So I think for Putin, that coup, or that attempted coup, think about it, that was too much. But Putin, and I'm just taking this intuitively, we don't know this all for fact at all, and probably will never know the details. I think Putin was like, nah, I'm not having that. Because remember, in his style, in a way, he likes to operate in this fashion. People fall out of windows, someone drinks something, or they're poisoned or whatever. There is that more subtlety. It's not like it's the emperor here. This is very fitting with Putinshka's energy. Yeah. You know, the high priestess. And then, you know, this kind of accidentally on purpose accident. Yeah. Wow. And it was because of, I think it was because of how Prigozhin made Putin feel. He made him look weak. It was an attack. It could have changed the course of many things. Imagine if Prigozhin had succeeded. There is a saying, and it's very, very true. It's very, very true. And we're seeing this now in some regards to matters with Trump and stuff like that. And their saying is this, and they say, if you aim for the king, you better not miss. Yeah, have you guys heard of that one? If you aim for the king, you better not miss. And when it comes to coups and stuff like that, if you're going to do it, you have to go through with it completely and just almost kind of tear the backside out of it. I can't think of a better word. They have to be total, because effectively you've declared your intentions. You've left a very, very powerful person in the name of Putinshka alive and knowing what your true intentions were. And that is a very, very dangerous thing. For me, it is no coincidence. The cards seem to suggest that. Again, we do not know for sure. This is a breaking story. Prigozhin could just turn up. Maybe he might just turn up somewhere. Yeah? We don't know. But based on those cards, oof, really does look like it, doesn't it? Let's see what else you guys are saying in the comments here. Sorry, as my computer boots up. Mercury retrograde, folks. My goodness, there's 500 of you here. I might have to do more at this time. Let's see here. Oh, someone said here, maybe still in Africa getting plastic surgery. We'll have to see. And what's Nicholas saying? Heard that one. What's this here? Snoop's doggy dog. Hello, this just popped up, and I don't believe for a second that the man is dead. Why kill innocent people just to get one? They usually just push you out a window or offer you a hot cup of tea. Now, Snoopy doggy dog. Yes, you are correct. However, we don't know who the passengers were. And we're also, because they could have been close aides of his. Also as well, this is Putin that we're talking about here. And Prigozhin would know his friend very well. Yeah, would know his friend very well. He's probably got tasters himself for hot cups of tea and all those various different things. Because if you're the right hand of a person like Putin, you know all the tricks. So if I'm Putin, and based on the cards that I got, remember the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a subtle energy. It's not in your face. It's indirect. And if I'm Putinshka and I want to get rid of someone, you want to create that false sense of security. So if he was with his people and, you let him go to Africa, you let him go to Belarus, and you let him move around, and he probably thinks, oh, I'm absolutely fine. Yeah. And then he takes a private plane and you put some kind of luggage in there or what have you, or suddenly the engines stop working or there's a blowout or an explosion, and then pow, yeah, instead of a window, you're being effectively from 30,000 feet or however high it is that planes normally fly. But I see your point, Snoop Doggy Dog. I see your point, but we also need to understand Putinshka is ruthless. Utterly ruthless. So let's see what else you guys are saying in the comments, and we'll see what this impact this could potentially have on the Ukraine war, if it will affect things at all. My instinct is maybe not, because if this was deliberate, obviously Putinshka would have factored that in before, that High Priestess card. Yes. So someone, Dallas H is saying you have to be 100% committed. I think that's in terms of like that coup, that revolt against Putinshka, which of course was called off. And someone says here, Annie Hamlet, hi Hogarth. All I can say is wow. Yes, interesting, isn't it? And we've got greetings and salutations as well coming from Giacanda. Okay, let's have a look, folks, on how this may or may not impact the Ukraine war. I'm sure as well that Zelensky's probably having mixed feelings about this. Because who's the replacement? Yeah, if he has passed. And even if he hasn't, and it's a stage thing, it means he needs to be out of action. So there has to be a new... sorry, let me just turn off. Let me put my phone on airplane mode here so I'm not interrupted. Okay, let's see. What impact, if any, will this have on the conflict in Ukraine? All right, let's pull the camera down. What times we live in, folks. On the day, Mercury retrograde today in Leo. Leadership, fire sign, ball of fire. Wow. Leaders of all kinds. Okay, focus. What does this mean for the potential outcomes, if any, in the Ukraine conflict? Using my golden Art Nouveau tarot deck, which is gorgeous. Let's have a look, see. All right. Oh, I've got to, sorry. Oh, interesting. Well. Oh, okay. All right, folks. The question was, what impact, if any, will this have on the Ukraine war? And we get the Fool card. Now here we're not talking about foolishness in that straight up and down context. This is actually a much more subtle interpretation we can take on this one, because here the Fool card always deals with new beginnings, fresh new starts, stuff like that, the universe catching you. So what this would say is, with this alleged potential death of Prigozhin, this for Putinska may represent a what? A fresh new start. This could be an attempt by Putin to have a fresh new start or a new approach in Ukraine that maybe he may have seen Prigozhin as a kind of a block to. Remember that poverty card that came out last? And of course, Prigozhin as well didn't just threaten Putin, he also threatened Putin's leadership. So this is an opportunity. The way I interpret this is that Putin may have been looking for a reset, guys, looking for a reset. How else can one interpret this card? Yeah, it's not a foolish move, because we know that, you know, apart from starting the whole Ukraine war thing in the first place, but in terms of the context, if Putinska is guilty of this, which he probably is, he's seeing it as a fresh start, an opportunity to renew his public image and probably also his status as well. This is probably also a reminder to everyone, remember what happens if you cross me. You dare cross me, you won't just fall out of airplane, you know, you won't just fall out of windows, yeah? Also as well, look at this. With the Fool, look, the height of the card as well. This can also mean falling from a height. Oh! If we look here, what's in the obstacle position? We have got here the Six of Wands, yeah, and this is talking about the victory card, but it's actually in the obstacle position. So I'm thinking that in many ways, Putin may have seen Prigozhin as an obstacle to his victory, or him getting some kind of triumph. He probably thought about it a lot. Yeah, here we are, Four of Cups, not liking the options on the table. Yeah, not liking this cup. What's in this cup? But look, one comes out of the sky. And it looks like Putin decided to take that option, quite literally. Why? Look at this. Here we are, Two of Wands. And you see here is the merchant here prospecting, but he's looking what? At the whole world. Here, waiting for the ships to come in. This is also a card of planning. Yeah, planning, making plans, adjustments, etc., stuff like that. Wands also deal with passion, initiation. So if we look at this from Putin's perspective, he didn't like the option on the table, because obviously this is a man, you know, Prigozhin has been around him for a long time, but he needed to further his plans, yeah, on the global stage. And here is this card of perseverance and embattlement. So on a certain level, I think this is Putin persevering, of course, in the conflict, because I think he's also, of course, waiting to see what happens in the US elections as well. You know, hopefully a certain Duc Larange is going to be disqualified via the 14th Amendment, Clause 3. Yeah, hopefully that would kind of bring that to an end. But there is this embattled state. So it's almost like, when I read this all together, Putin wanted a change of scene, a change of plan to help change his strategy for victory. He didn't like the options on the table. He really deliberated and thought about this before making things happen, shall we say, if the cards are right, because he was looking at the global stage, his role on the global stage. This could also be talking as well about Africa and his plans and his ideas, but this is him as the statesman, looking out, looking to the future, and he's feeling embattled, yeah, battle weary. So it looks like he wanted to kind of like clear up shop. What this also means is, will this be an immediate change for the Ukraine war? Probably not. It looks like Putin is going to persevere and maybe getting rid of Prigozhin, or maybe at the behest not only of Putin, but potentially others as well, who are also threatened and probably highly embarrassed by what Prigozhin did. All right, let's have a scroll through as well. Thank you, everyone, for joining me this evening. It was very unexpected. It's over 644 of you with me now. I think it's amazing. Thank you. I mean, I literally just came on. Oh, look. Someone's saying here, bless your soul, is saying it was shot down. Now, as I saw the story, of course, that much longer ago, we've been going for almost half an hour now, and the story was already half an hour old by that point. So, of course, you guys will be coming with updates. It's saying it was shot down. Now, if it was shot down, that would validate absolutely what the cards said, wouldn't it? I mean, we know, I mean, you don't have to be that much of a psychic, isn't it, to be honest, to be like, well, Putin probably did it, but you could see that correlation. So bless your soul. If you could let me know your sources for that. Has that been a story that has just broken and had just come in? Or was that a psychic hit maybe that you had? Let's try and get everything corroborated as much as we can. Let's see. What else? Always Bless says, you can't trust anything that involves Putin. There was 10 other innocent people on that plane. How psychopathic. Yes, he has no compunction about these things, of course. And for him, it's how well the trap is set, assuming that he is the guilty party. He would have needed to get Prigozhin's confidence. But then at the same time, if it was shot down, if this turns out to be the case, then it was shot down. And then the intent, of course, is absolutely clear. Yeah, Roxy says, this is really a spy thriller like a Bond movie. Yeah. And Putinshka is like a James Bond villain. It's just astonishing. Denise Rice says she just heard the news. And, oh, Shari say, oh, hello, Shari. Only 500 a chat. Ah. Oh, thank you. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Let's look. How will this affect the Wagner group going forward? And then let's do a close up maybe with a direct read on Putin. How will this affect the Wagner group going forward and some of their ambitions in Africa? They're saying they're fighting ISIS and this, that, and the other. But Prigozhin has said that they're after the gold, the uranium. Africa being pillaged yet again by outside forces. God, it's like colonialism is like something that's just not going out of fashion. All right, let's have a look-see here. All right. How will this affect Wagner Group in Africa? Will the group be disbanded if it turns out that Prigozhin is no more? And even if it were a ploy to fake his own death, he would still have to go anyway. But if the plane was shot down, as I think someone was saying in the comments, then it's was absolutely deliberate. Oh, look at this, the juggling. Guys, wow. Okay. First off, this has obviously thrown them for a loop. If this is the case, when we look at with the two of Pentacles here, it doesn't just talk about money. You see there's the stormy sea with the ships in the background. Yeah. It also means juggling, manipulation, trying to work things out. Yeah. Because you're in a dicey situation. So straight away, that is going to affect the fortunes, quite literally the money of the Wagner group, because of course they're paid mercenaries. If the leader is gone, oh my goodness. That may have been another big motivating factor for Putinshka to do this, wouldn't it? Money. If you get rid of the leader, you can cancel the contract. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? So it's thrown them for a loop, but maybe as well, because, as we know, the economy in Russia has been dicey. It's been up and down. The ruble's gone down and gone back up, gone down and gone back up. Some saying it's back down, but either way, maybe money was also part of the motivating factor. Break the contract by getting rid of the person, the CEO, the leader. Mercury retrograde in Leo. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Look at the next card. Page of Pentacles. Yeah. So we have a money card again, and it's in the obstacle position. So this is going to affect, of course, the Wagner Group's funding, because people that would have had contracts with them will be potentially able to cancel those contracts. Yeah. So again, if we look at this in the context for Putinshka, you know, it looks like he's saving himself some money. Wow. If we look here in the middle, we've got the false knight, which of course is talking about, well, now look, sometimes this knight is nice. Yeah, it can be very romantic and stuff like that. But we know we're not dealing with nice people with the Wagner group. Yeah, that were complaining that they couldn't inflict enough torture and harm on people. So they're going to have to do some kind of PR stunts here. Looks like they're going to have to do some kind of PR stunts. And they're probably going to release a statement soon of some kind saying, you know, oh, we're sorry that for the tragic loss of Prigozhin, if that is the case, and blah, blah, blah. And they're going to have to try and spin this, yeah, to show that they're still viable in some kind of way. However, Queen of Cups is here. So there is actually quite a lot of emotion around this. And we could see some secrets come out. Or maybe Prigozhin had some secrets as well that he may have had. Yeah, but as Lady G would say, this is like the crucible of abominations when we're talking about these really nasty people. Normally the Queen of Cups is a nice card. But when I look at it here, I'm also getting the sense it's to do with money and just how things were going. And if we look here, the outcome card is the 10 of Wands, which is obvious. It's going to be a lot more difficult for them going forward. You know, Prigozhin was not a nice person, but he was, you know, very well known and, you know, quite a character. Let's just put it this way. Not a nice guy, but a character. But when you've got a well-known figurehead, then it's easier to raise funds. You know, like they say, no such thing as bad publicity. So we can see here, for them going forward as mercenaries, as their work in Africa in this context, but potentially where they're elsewhere, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them. Wow. All right. I might close this up with a read. How will his death affect the Ukraine war? Yeah, so I just read on that, Connie. Thank you. Someone's saying, I knew you'd be on Hogarth. Well, I mean, how could I not be? You know, I'm very interested, as you know, in my international news, politics and stuff like that. All right, let's close this up. Unless there's more questions. Let's see here. Hi, Hogarth. It was the chef that had a private plane. Thanks for the read. Aha. Let's see here. Nicholas saying, oh, we miss your lies, but if you see poster, Miss General could have been swapped in. Maybe. Sonia's saying these people will kill 20 people just to get one. They have no boundaries. Yeah, it's true. Putin would definitely, he'll kill 20, 30 people to get that one. Because that's what did you see? The cards were speaking about these things. There's more stuff going on. Oh, just reset. And then Patricia Franzina saying Putin doesn't care how many he needs to kill to get the one he wants. It's true. Yeah, it's true. Black Widow. And it seems to corroborate Eva saying I feel it's true. And you've got over 700 of you here. Thank you, guys. That's amazing. Thank you. All right. Let's do a general read on how Putin is feeling about his whole situation. What's the energy around him? Because obviously this has to make an impact. Wow. Let's have a look. See. God, and I've got Thursday fry up tomorrow, so I'll be doing obviously unanswered questions from Hogarth, but I'll probably have to visit again in the sense of to see how the story develops. But at least we've had a main tug and a pull here. All right, Putin. How's this affecting Putin? What's the energy around him right now? I just find it incredible. It's happened right on Mercury retrograde. Review, revise, reassess. Mercury will go direct again. Let me just check on the back of my calculator. Mercury will go direct again on the 15th of September, guys. 15th of September. All right, let's have a little look to see what came up. This is about general for Putin. Oh, look at this. Ah, 2 major arcana. Oh, look. Wow, look, you really could see the relationship. Oh, look at that. Well, 5 cards. Putin has got 5 major arcana. I mean, I suppose that's not that shocking, really, but wow. Yes, so this was a huge decision for him, obviously. Look, he did it, yeah? For entertainment purposes only, but, you know, very new story. Let's see what comes out in the news cycle. By tomorrow, I'll know more. So when I do my Thursday fry up, which of course is due tomorrow, we'll revisit this, but with how the story has developed. Yeah, because this is very much a breaking story. All right. Putinshka, how is he feeling about the whole scenario? Look at this. The Judgment card. Yeah, Judgment. So in a way, this is... it means multiple things, because the Judgment card can also mean not only like judgment in the literal sense, but a kind of a mea culpa, a reassessment of one's past actions. And here for Putin, it's like he's looked at everything from the past. He's reflecting, of course, on how this war has developed. Many people told him, of course, well, from what we understand from sources, that, you know, he would be able to conquer Ukraine in a matter of days. Yeah, maybe Prigozhin was one of those voices telling him, you know, it was going to be easy. Because think about it, it's no little thing to invade a country. Yeah. But because of Putin's nature, no one, of course, wants to say no, because what happens to you? Yeah. You drink some tea and then, you know, before you know it, you're turning purple and all your skin's falling off, or you're banged up in jail, or you're falling out of a window, or your aeroplane's getting shot down. So, of course, but this is obviously making Putin reflect on everything that's been happening. What's the obstacle? The Moon card. Even he is not sure. The Moon card, of course, can not only deal with secrets, things, machinations behind the scenes. We see the lobster coming out of the water. We see the dog and the wolf howling. And the person has to, in theory, navigate between these two towers. But also as well, the Moon card can also speak about mental health as well. This has obviously been playing a lot on Putin's mind, but not just the situation with Prigozhin. The whole way that the Ukraine war has gone, it's had a lot of unexpected things have happened. You know, he's united a lot of his enemies. And of course, the thing is still going on. But look at what is in the center of the reading. Card number 3 in a 5-card spread, which was also reflective too as well for Prigozhin, wasn't it, when I was reading on him? And there you are, you see that relationship. So this was... he really, really thought about it. Putin really thought about it. He may have even had real restless, sleepless nights about this thing. If he did, you know, give the order about this person, because this was someone they shared a very strong bond. You see how this card keeps coming back. However, Putinshka used his judgment. Yeah, here we are, the Queen of Swords. Yeah, which I feel is appropriate for Putin, because his style, yeah, we know he's male, but his style is less direct. He's indirect, but he reached a conclusion. Yeah, he used his logic, he used his intelligence, and he looked at everything, and he was just like, as close as I may feel to this person, this man, you know, my judgment tells me he's got to go, because why? I have to remain the emperor. In Putin's eyes, I have to remain the emperor. I must stay in power. He threatened my power too much. Yeah. That Moon card, yeah, which would have been totally left field for Putin, for Prigozhin to do this. And he was probably deeply wounded. I mean, how could you not be? You know, when one of your best friends stages a coup against you. I think this really psychologically affected Putin, and he really had to think about it. But he sat down almost in judgment, looking at things, how things have gone. And he clinically, because remember as well, the swords, they're cool and clinical. He made that decision in order for him to maintain his power as emperor. For entertainment purposes only, but that's how I'm reading those cards. Let's see what else comes out. Over 760 of you. Thank you so much for joining me, for all the love and the support. And of course, if you'd like a consultation with me, then you can visit the my website, hogarthglobalastrology.com. It still says the archetypal blueprint. Don't get spooked. I just need to update it. And I'm getting through and back to old emails now that my book is done and everything like that. Oh, God, I had to throw so much under the bus. But such is life. You know, we get busy. Let's see here. What's RTD saying? Even if he's not really dead, it hurts morale in the Wagner group. I feel fine spreading it around just for that specific purpose. It will bolster anyone near their action areas too. Yeah, I suppose so. Yes. Let's see here. Someone was just asking, where does that leave the Wagner group? Of course, I've just read on that. And let's see here. I had a thought that he was in prison and died. Could have been canned video, Prigozhin. Putin had to get rid of the body, passenger list 10, but they found 8. Oh, this had 10, but they found 8 bodies. All right, well, that has to be established. Obviously, this is a breaking story. And of course, try and quote your sources as well, guys, where you get this information from. Like this. I like this time of day for readings. Thank you. Thank you. Right, I'm going to leave it there, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. It's almost 45 minutes. I think that's long enough for this breaking story. Let's see what happens. Join me tomorrow for Thursday Fry Up, and then we will see how the story has developed then. And of course, I'll be looking at unanswered Hogarth questions plus contemporary questions, along with tarot and of course quotes and a bit of astrology as well, if I have time. So thank you again so much for joining me, everyone, and I'll see you all tomorrow. So hopefully you can join me again. Thanks so much, and I'll leave it for there. Much love. All right, see you soon, folks.